What'd your parents do? While Anna awake, were they in?
Well, my mom, she was a home health aide, and my dad, he was a mechanic.
Oh, okay.
But in his heart, the man was a chef.
Chef?
Yeah, loved to cook.
Is that right?
Yeah. Well, it's like mostly Mexican and Dominican stuff.
Yeah.
Like carnitas and sancocho, things like that.
Beautiful.
Yeah. But man, I mean, you would have got a kick out of this place too. You know, the snails and the oysters. You know, it's nice. You know, and I don't think you ever got to eat in a lot of nice restaurants.
That ain't right. That ain't fucking right. Look, fuck it. The world ain't set up for the honest man to succeed. Mechanic's a good job. That should be the American dream right there. You know, beautiful story with a happy ending. But that ain't the way the world works, Vic. America's a hustle. Who's his name?
Juan Ramon Aguilar.
The Juan Ramon Aguilar. You raised a good son.
Greetings, citizens of Gotham, and welcome back to another episode of The Penguin's Mightier, a podcast about HBO's The Penguin. And if you are a regular viewer of the video version of this program, you might see that for the third time I'm trying something a little different. The first time I literally recorded it in my bathroom, sitting fully clothed on my toilet. The second time, I tried just using my computer webcam and recording through Zoom, so the quality was lower. And this third time, I am coming back to you using my GoPro again, but now I'm standing in the kitchen with the green screen behind me, over my shoulder, pretty much balancing on a sink. I'm just trying all these kinds of different things. I have a bicycle light shining in my face. I have no idea if it will work, but I don't care. I just want to try stuff, and the quality of the video is, it is the result of me trying different things. But one thing that I'm going to continue doing is really, really enjoying this show. I feel like it's getting better with every episode. This is a grounded, realistic show in a world that was created for the fantastic. You know, a third episode in a row where there is not one mention of the Batman. I shouldn't say the third episode in a row, because he was he mentioned at the beginning of the first episode. But we're never going to see the Batman, and I'm okay with that. I don't want to see him, but then we'll probably see him, right? Okay, I would love if we saw him, but I have no desire or need to see him. Maybe I should say. Maybe that's right. This episode is called Bliss, and that is because the new drug that we've been hearing so much about, the drug that young Falcone first told Oz about in the first episode, the one that Oz was going to use to get rich, still wants to use to get rich, but now doing it with Sophia Falcone. We find out what it is. We find out where it came from. And we find out that actually Sophia probably had more to do with it than her dead brother, ever did, because it is something that comes from Arkham Asylum. It is something that they used on the patients of Arkham Asylum, and now she is taking it and mass producing it. They're calling it Bliss. It reminded me of a red version of Breaking Bad because you see the red meth. I thought this was just the blue meth in Breaking Bad. I thought this was just a red meth. It is not. It is, some sort of something, a pore, some kind of jelly, something that grows on these mushrooms. These mushrooms are very specific. They have a chemist, and then these spores or whatever that grow off it, they crystallize it. They give them flavor crystals, and that is what apparently everybody wants to do in a club is lick, eat, drink, whatever you do, these crystals, and get high. They really had no problem selling it. They really had no problem getting everyone in a certain club high. And things were starting to come together for Oz, for the Penguin. We don't see his mom in this episode, but we do see him kind of getting in what his plan is with Sophia, and that is to push this drug through the Zhao crime family. Basically, they have the Falcones, the Italian mob, going to an Asian mafia family and saying, look, we want to partner with you. Oz's ideas, we'll partner with you. We'll sell these in your clubs. You'll make a ton of money. And we're bringing this to you first. They want to edge Luca out. And they say, we got Johnny Vitti as our number 2. Johnny Vitti, of course, is Doug Stamper from House of Cards. And they finally confront him about stooping Luca's wife. Now they can blackmail him to say, look, you need to go and back Sophia on this. So all kinds of craziness is going on. He must end up backing them because they get a sit down with Zhao. And first I thought it was, someone said Zaz. I was like, wait, Victor Zaz? But Zhao, it seems like they made a deal with this family to sell their drugs, and it's all coming from Sophia and Oz. But Sophia, she is second-guessing her working with Oz because apparently Oz screwed her and is what led up with her getting sent into Arkham Asylum. So she is a little hesitant about that, but he's like, look, I did screw you over. But she's like, how can I ever trust you? He goes, let me show you. Let me make it so you can trust me. He goes, yes, I'm glad I did it because a guy like me would have never gotten to where I am now, would have never achieved the things that I've achieved if I didn't look out for myself, if I didn't take advantage of getting you out of the way. So, I did it. I'm glad I did it, but I'm not glad that I hurt you. I didn't know it was going to go this far, and I'm sorry, and let me make it up to you. And all that seems great, and all seems like, okay, she's finally going to trust him. She seems like she's she's going to hesitantly trust him, maybe trust him a little more, allow him the benefit of the doubt, allow him to prove himself. And then we get the ending of that episode. The ending of the episode is, now we have Maroney's wife comes out of nowhere and says, Oz, do you think you could screw me over? Who do you effing think you are? And all of a sudden she shows up with her goons, and she's going to take him and Sophia out. It looks like they were set up execution style. And then we get the end of the episode. But before we get there, the moment that happened, that Victor stepped in, let's step back. What we learned about Victor in this episode is he was just a young kid with a loving family. Loving mother, a loving father, a loving sister. But he wanted to go hang out with his friends. Now, I had a feeling this was a flashback, but I didn't know how far we were flashing back. We're flashing back to the night the Riddler screwed Gotham and terrorized Gotham and flooded Gotham, and we see it from his perspective. And it was very powerful. The special effects were great. It's, just on a very large scale. We just see this flood of water take over his apartment house, killing them all. We assume. There's always a chance, but we assume that his entire family is dead, and that's where he left off and ended up starting working with Oz. First, he was with this guy he liked. This guy he didn't like. Was his name Slushy or something like that? I don't know. Squid, that was his name. And I have a feeling we're going to see him show up again. We got a name of a guy, and they gave each other kind of a dirty look. His girlfriend doesn't like this guy Squid. Neither does Victor. So I think that's going to come back. Speaking of the fact that we do meet that he had a girlfriend. And he was with his girlfriend when all this happened. Both their families are gone. She's been just living in a makeshift camp, for a refugee camp or a relief camp. And she wants a better life. She wants to go to California. She wants him to come with her. But Victor says, look, we see her before. Now we see her in the current time. He's like, look, this is where I work. This is who I work for. This is where I live. I don't think I can leave. I've seen things. I'm afraid. But you know what? Let's do it. Let's get out of here. So he promises her he's going to go. But he thinks he's going to get killed if he goes through with this. Well, we get to the night where he's helping selling the drugs. And the club is so crazy that it kind of gives him a PTSD of everything that happened to his family with all the lights and the flashing and the noise. And he's like, screw this. I can't do this anymore. Penguin's on a high because they made a deal with the Zhaos. Victor is on a low because he feels like his father would be ashamed of him. And he's like, Penguin sees the phone. He's like, you gonna leave me? He goes, I can't leave you. I'm not allowed to leave. He's like, and then he says, you think you're hostage? You think that I'm doing the reason you're here is because you can't leave? And he basically tells him, get the F out of here. I don't want you. I don't need you. And Victor angrily takes Penguin's car to go meet his girlfriend, but he realizes the life he could have, and he realizes that, oh my goodness, I wasn't held captive here. I was there maybe because I liked it, and maybe I can see more opportunity with that, and I can use that. So he leaves his girlfriend behind, and we know he's going to come back. He comes back, and what he comes back to see is the end with Sophia and Oz being held captive by Maroney's wife, about to be killed. I thought he was going to take them all out. Victor swings the car, boom, takes the gunman out. They get in the car. He opens up the car. Penguin jumps in. Not Sophia, just Oz. And he says, let's get the hell out of here. Leave her. So after everything that he was working towards with getting in with Sophia, he leaves her behind right then, right there. Maybe that's a little cowardly. But he also thinks maybe his whole thing's going to get blown up with Maroney and the fact that they know, she knows, right, that the Sophia's brother was killed by Oz. So Oz doesn't want that to happen. So maybe he's like, let her get killed, leave her behind. I don't know what's going on there. But at the same time, Maroney still wants to keep the credit for young Falcone, right? Because then it makes him look like the cock of the walk in prison, I guess. I'm still not sure why it won't blow back on Oz before this season is over. There's going to be some reason. Maybe the wife doesn't make it. Maybe she dies from emphysema, just for having such a throat and such a voice. I don't know, but this was a really good episode. I feel like I'm doing this quicker and quicker each time, but these don't have to be very long videos. These don't have to be very long audio podcasts. It's the episode was quite good. I don't have to go through step by step. I took no notes. I just watched it, and here I am talking about it. As I said, I saw this actor who played Victor in the show The Runaways, and I just never thought anything great of that show. And you put him in something that's quality, and you realize, oh, this kid can act, and he's really good. And we see some character building between him and Oz, trusting each other, being there for each other. Oz actually caring for this kid. Yes, Victor has seen a lot and knows things that, might be problematic. But I don't think Oz seems to care about that. He trusts him enough that he doesn't need to worry about that. And you could see that Victor's kind of learning the lay of the land. He gets pulled over by a cop for just parking there. Cop sees all this money. He's like, what money? And the cop's like, all right then. Just when your boss comes back, you guys get out of here, you crazy rascal. And the cop leaves him to be, just takes his money and goes. So you could see him starting to more and more get into the groove, because he's got to move. Your love for me. I don't know where that came from. But Bliss. I felt bliss by watching this episode. Every episode's getting better and better, and I quite enjoy it. And it's like the makeup on Colin Farrell is so great. I feel like they should win some sort of Emmy for that, just because you don't even, yes, I know he's under there, but you don't even think that it's a mask and this prosthetics. It just seems so realistic and so it's just believable. So that's it. I think I've covered everything I need to cover. Sophia, that character, actress, great. Her and Oz, their chemistry together, great. She doesn't quite know what to make of him, and he's basically just trying to play it cool and see what he can get away with. And I just love the small-time crime family drama that we're getting in a comic book world. I just think it's really, they're almost doing what you wanted Gotham to be, where Gotham was, but I actually think Gotham got better when it just leaned into the crazy and all the villains were just wacko. And it felt like you're in a comic book, show. This, on the other hand, just happens to be in Gotham. And it just happens to be with characters that have been the foes of Batman for years. So that's really the only thing that's making this a comic book show. It's a superhero show. Because it's not a superhero show. It's just from a world with superheroes. But not on this show. Our hero on this show is the villain in the Batman comics. We can't help it. We're rooting for the Penguin. Who isn't? Because the Penguin's mightier. See what I did there? So listen, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, and Mastodon.social at Geek Mentality. The Facebook page is Fans Not Experts. The YouTube channel is Fans Not Experts. That's because the website is fansnotexperts.com. That's it. I'm done. Have a lovely week, everyone. The Penguin is mightier, and it's a really good show. And I'll be talking about it again next week. But until then, thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. And here is my theme song. This is my podcast. I made it. Geek Mentality's what I named it. And I think you should listen and subscribe. 'Cause I'm kinda funny and awesome. I think that I'm worth your time. And I'm kinda handsome. My mom says, please listen and please subscribe. At least listen to this episode.
Fans Not Experts.